American Radio Relay League News will start now.
This is ARRL Audio News, your weekly summary of news highlights from the world of amateur radio. If you retransmit audio news through a repeater, listen for the Morse code K character, followed by 4 seconds of silence. That's your cue to stop transmitting so that your repeater timer can reset.
I'm John Ross, KD8IDJ, and this is the ARRL Audio News for Friday, February 9th, 2024. Southern California continues to feel the effects of a significant rain event that began last week, bringing record rainfall, landslides, and hurricane-strength winds. The heavy rain is the result of 2 atmospheric rivers referred to as Pineapple Expresses because of their origins near Hawaii. Nearly half a year's worth of rain has fallen in just 2 days. Since Sunday, February 4th, areas in Los Angeles County have seen nearly 1 foot of rain, which now has moved east into western Arizona, southern Nevada, and southwestern Utah, raising the risk of flash flooding in those areas. ARRL Director of Emergency Management Josh Johnson, KE5MHV, has been in contact with amateur radio emergency service leadership throughout the affected areas. Area's member volunteers are ready to be pressed into service when called upon by one of their local service agencies, he said. The situation continues to evolve. Johnston has received several situational updates from area's leaders. ARRL San Joaquin Valley Section Emergency Coordinator Dan Sowen, W7LCOO, wrote, "The SJV section is experiencing electrical power outages caused by high winds, affecting tens of thousands of homes and businesses, mostly in the westernmost lower elevation Central Valley counties, and elevations at or above 3,500 feet above sea level. The incoming atmospheric river appears to be moving more to the north than the last 2 storms, so we'll see what that brings to the counties that are already saturated. And we hope that it lessens the life-threatening ongoing damage throughout Southern California." Johnson also received this update from ARRL Nevada Section Emergency Coordinator John Abbott, KD7NHC. Here in northern Nevada, a varying amount of snow was received. I received reports from Carson City of 10 to 11 inches and reports of 10 to 13 inches of snow in Carson Valley and parts of Reno. There are several feet of snow at higher elevations. I have not received, though, any reports of Aries members being active.
American Radio Relay League News will continue in 20 seconds.
Several counties were requested to be ready in the event that their services were needed. Major roads are clear, but residential streets still have snow. Aries teams are ready when needed and will continue to monitor the situations in California and affected neighboring states. Check ARRL News for the latest updates. Staten Island Technical High School is the first New York City school to receive an ARRL STEM grant. ARRL Education and Learning Manager Steve Goodgame, K5ATA, said that ARRL is working with the school in several ways. We are working with them to build and equip an amateur radio station, to test and license students, and to put science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM kits in the classroom, thanks to that grant from Amateur Radio Digital Communications. Goodgame visited the school several weeks ago to help administer amateur radio license tests, and with the help of the school's engineering and technology teacher, Everton Henriquez, KD2ZZT, there are now 32 juniors and seniors who are newly licensed amateur radio operators. Henriquez attended the ARRL Teachers Union Institute on Wireless Technology last year, and he intends to return to the program in 2024 for additional preparation and training. The ARRL Teachers Institute on Wireless Technology is a donor-funded professional development program designed to help teachers elevate their STEM programs through the use of wireless technology. World Radio Day 2024 will be February 13th this year, and this year's theme is A Century Informing, Entertaining, and Educating. World Radio Day was first celebrated in 2012 following its declaration by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, General Conference. It was then subsequently adopted as an international day by the United Nations General Assembly. And amateur radio is included in that celebration. The EA Digital Federation designates the day as WRD, World Radio Day. And they have 9 stations, or will have 9 stations, event stations on the air February 9th through the 18th. The stations will be active on different bands and modes, including phone, CW, and digital. And you can locate those stations through the DX cluster or the agenda activity on their website. Operating times and special QSL card information can be found at FETI-EA-A0 #WRD, World Radio Day 2024.
American Radio Relay League news will continue in 20 seconds.
As part of the amateur radio on the International Space Station, ARROUND program, students at Lilburn Elementary School in Lilburn, Georgia, were able to talk to the International Space Station, ISS, on February 7th and talk to astronaut Jasmine Mogabelli, KI-5WSL. The contact took place with help from Daryl Young, K4RGK, ARROUND's representatives and member from the North Fulton Amateur Radio League there. Students were able to ask 15 questions ranging from what is the grossest thing about living in space to have you read the Dogman books. Astronaut Mogabelli said that collecting and loading trash into a special waste vehicle is the grossest job on the ISS. As for the Dogman books, she has not read them yet, but would be interested in trying them. She also talked about growing tomatoes in space and how her most important job on the ISS is brushing her teeth every morning. And you can view a recording of that contact on YouTube. ARROUND is a cooperative venture of international amateur radio societies and space agencies that support the ISS. In the United States, participating organizations include NASA's Space Communications and Navigation SCAN program, the ISS National Laboratory, Space Station Explorers, ARRL, and AMSAT. This year, George Washington's birthday will be celebrated by 3 amateur radio clubs. From 1500 Zulu to 2100 Zulu on February 17th, the Washington Area Amateur Radio Club, W0ARC, will be active on 7.071, 7.200, 14.071, 14.275, 21.074, 21.310, and 28.071, and 28.350 megahertz, as well as on 10, 15, 20, and 40 megahertz phone. A commemorative QSL card will be available for those who send a self-addressed fan envelope to Mark Lucan's KB0DX at 802 North 2nd Avenue in Washington, Iowa. The zip code there is 52353. And on February 18th through the 19th, from 1500 Zulu to 2000 Zulu, the Mount Vernon Amateur Radio Club, MVARC, will operate from George Washington's Mount Vernon Estate, 7.042, 7.242, 14.042, and 14.242 megahertz. For more information, email social@mvarc.org. And finally, the Columbia Basin DX Club, WS7.
American Radio Relay League news will continue in 20 seconds.
And finally, the Columbia Basin DX Club, WS7G, will celebrate Washington's birthday on February 21st through the 24th from 0001 Zulu to 2359 Zulu. WS7G will operate on 14.322, 14.255, 7.222, and 7.260 megahertz. And for a commemorative certificate and QSL card, contact Brian Nielsen at W7BJN at 111650 Road 1 Southeast in Monitor, Washington. The zip code there is 98836. Southwest Ohio DX Association, SUDEXA, in conjunction with ICOM America, has announced a DX Mentor Recognition Program to recognize and reward amateur radio operators who have helped others achieve DXCC. An application form is now available for those who wish to nominate their DX mentor. Amateurs who have received mentoring from a nominee must be under 30 years of age during the calendar year of the award. Targeting that age group is meant to keep such amateurs engaged in the hobby after they receive and achieve their DXCC. The judging committee will be comprised of SWO DXA representatives and a representative from both the Northern California DX Foundation and the International DX Association. The awards will be presented at the DX dinner held annually in conjunction with the Dayton Hamvention. More information and the entry form can be found at www.swoda.org, DX Mentor Program. Bruce Page, KK5DO, is here now with this week's AMSAT report. Bruce?
Thanks, John. We had previously reported that IO-117 or Green Cube would be decommissioned after a letter from the AMSAT president was sent to AMSAT Italia. The Italian Space Agency, the owner of the satellite, has the issue under evaluation. Hopefully it will allow the ham radio package to continue to function. KO-92, or Fox 1D, has likely re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. The satellite was launched in January of 2018 and was part of the Fox series of satellites. The distance record for the satellite was made between F4DXV and VE1VOX on August 10, 2020, with a distance of 5,011 kilometers for the UV mode.
American Radio Relay League news will continue in 20 seconds.
A distance of 5,011 kilometers for the UV mode. The record for the LV mode was between OA4-XQ3SA and XE1MEX on June 3rd of 2020 with a distance of 4,202 kilometers. AMSAT is now working on the Gulf series of satellites. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, has successfully landed their Smart Lander for Investigating Moon, or SLIM, on January 19th. This would be the first amateur radio station on the moon. This is Bruce Page, KK5DO. Back to you, John.
And thanks, Bruce, for that report. In radio sport this week, a lot of great contests. February 10th through the 11th, CQWW RIDI WPX contest, that's digital. Also on February 10th, the Asia Pacific Spring Sprint, that's CW. 4 contests, February 10th through the 11th, the KCJ Top Band Contest, CW. The Dutch PACC Contest, CW and phone. The SKCC Weekend Sprintathon, that is CW. And the Ole Miss QSO Party, that's phone as well. February 10th, the RSGB 1.8 megahertz contest, CW. February 11th, the Vulcan HF contest, CW and phone. February 12th, 4 states QRP group, second Sunday sprint, CW and phone. And on February 12th to the 16th, it's the ARRL School Club Roundup, CW and phone there. And don't forget, you can visit the ARRL contest calendar for more events and information. Upcoming section, state, and division conventions, February 9th through the 11th, the Orlando Hamcation, hosting the ARRL Florida State Convention. That's in Orlando, Florida. February 24th, the Central Dakota Amateur Radio Club, hosting the ARRL North Dakota State Convention. That's in Bismarck, North Dakota. February 24th, HamCon, hosting the ARRL Vermont State Convention in Colchester, Vermont. And March 1st and 2nd, the Greater Houston Hamfest, hosting the ARRL Great Western Golf Division Convention. That's in Rosenberg, Texas. And finally this week, thanks to the Marengo Basin Amateur Radio Club in Yucca Valley, California, for airing the ARRL audio news on their repeater. 7-3.
And that concludes ARRL audio news for this week. American Radio Relay League news will continue in 20 seconds. concludes ARRL audio news for this week. Our thanks to all contributors to this week's report. ARRL audio news is produced by the American Radio Relay League, the National Association for Amateur Radio. For more information on amateur radio or the ARRL, visit us on the web at arrl.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching for ARRL. If you have a question or comment about ARRL audio news, email us at audionews@arrl.org. This program is copyright ARRL, all rights reserved. 73, and thanks for listening. This completes the American Radio Relay League news transmission. The system is now available for use.
All right, hopefully everybody got something out of that. You take care, have a good day, and just drive and be careful out there. KC9, LN Zulu, I'll be clear.
Say, Tom, just a quick question for you. How has the news been functioning? Have you had any glitches or issues with it at all? Because my net participation is a little sporadic since we're down here now. K9TQC.
No, sir, not at all. No problems at all. I've run it the last couple of weeks, and it's just been nice and fine. You know, either one runs without any issues.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks a bunch. Have a good one. Nice nut. K9TQC73.
You too. Hopefully the weather's good down there. KC9, LN Zulu, I'll be clear.
Thanks again, Thomas. That's 4 in a row, I think. Get a lottery ticket. And that sets a new indoor record for the number of times the initials ARRL were used in a single transmission. KV9DIP clear.
Take whatever I can get when I get it. You have a good day, too. KC9, LN Zulu.
On a side note, I find it very difficult to say ARRL fast. But it's a lot easier to say ARRL. That rolls off the tongue a lot easier. See you later.
I should use that thing too. Always mess it up. But anyway, thanks.